My name is Harshmeet Singh, and I welcome you all to this next live session in which we will be discussing the anti-defection law. Good evening to all of you, those who have joined in. I hope all of you are doing absolutely fine. As you know, from Monday to Friday at 7:30 p.m., we have this series in which we discuss certain important terms related to the UPSC preparation in a live class here at YouTube. If you have just joined in, I welcome you all, guys. Please do hit the like button. If you have not subscribed to this YouTube channel of Gradeup IAS, please do so that as well. Now, when you read Indian polity, it is for sure that you would have read about this particular phrase, anti-defection law. In Hindi में इसको बोलते हैं दल बदल विरोधी कानून. In simple terms, this anti-defection law stops an elected member or stops any member of legislature to change his or her political party to go against his or her political party. For example, if a BJP MP or a BJP MLA votes against their own party, they will be disqualified from the membership of parliament or the membership of state legislature. In very simple terms, this is what the anti-defection law is. Now, let's go into detail of why was it introduced, what exactly is it, how does it work. Now, this law actually has its roots to way back in the 1960s. There was a Haryana MLA called Gaya Lal, who became very infamous for changing his political party thrice in one single day. Whoever used to give him more money, whoever used to give him or offer him a better position, he used to just change his political party. So much so that he changed his political party 3 times in one single day. A phrase became very famous by this activity, that was Ayaram Gayaram. Because of this, there was a lot of instability in the government. Now, when the government is running at the center or at the state, and they are not sure if their own MLAs or MPs will vote for them, or tomorrow their own MLAs or MPs will join some other political party, the problem is the government becomes unstable, and that leads to a lot of problems. So anti-defection law was introduced mainly to bring stability to the government. It was introduced in 1985 in the form of 52nd Constitution Amendment. The 52nd Constitution Amendment Act 1985 was passed to introduce what we call the anti-defection law. The law is currently written in the 10th schedule. Now, as you know, the original constitution only had 8 schedules. Schedule number 9, 10, 11, 12 were added later on. In fact, Schedule 10, the original part is, Schedule 10 originally contained information about Sikkim. Schedule 10 originally said that Sikkim is an associate state of India. So that part was taken away when Sikkim became a full-time state. And now the 10th schedule talks about disqualification of people under the anti-defection law. Defection as a word simply means that you change your party, that you go to some other party. That is called defection. So if you voluntarily resign from your party, or you disobey or do not follow the direction of the party, you will be disqualified from the membership of the parliament. This is, in very simple terms, what the anti-defection law says in India. As I said, it is written in the 10th schedule, and it gives a process by which legislators, that is MPs, MLAs, MLCs, will be disqualified for defection. The important part is when a member of parliament or member of state legislature is disqualified on the grounds of defection, the decision for disqualification is to be taken by the presiding officer of the house. Means in Lok Sabha, if a member has to be disqualified, the Lok Sabha speaker has to take the decision. If in Rajya Sabha the person or the member has to be disqualified, Rajya Sabha chairperson has to take the decision. Because usually in other cases when MP or MLAs are disqualified, like for example when MPs or MLAs are disqualified on the reasons of, let's say, losing citizenship, or they have been sent to jail, If for those reasons the MPs and MLAs are disqualified, then it is the President of India who gives a disqualification order, and governor gives it for the state legislature. But when it comes to anti-defection law, the orders are given by the presiding officers of the house and not by the president or the governor. Now, there are 4 points about anti-defection law, and many of you would already be aware of it. Under 4 circumstances, a person will be disqualified from his or her membership of the legislature. First, if the person gives up the membership of his or her political party, person resigns from the party. Second, if the person does not vote or votes against the direction of the political party. If a BJP MP votes against the BJP bill. Third, if an independent candidate, the candidate who does not belong to any political party, if an independent candidate joins a political party after the election, then again the person will be disqualified. So if an independent candidate joins a political party, the person will be disqualified. And last, if a nominated member joins a party 6 months after the person becomes a member of legislature. Now, as you know, in the Rajya Sabha, there are 12 nominated members. The president nominates 12 members in the Rajya Sabha. These nominated members are allowed to join a political party within their first 6 months of the membership. If they join a party after 6 months are over, then they will be disqualified from the membership of the parliament. There are obviously some exceptions under the law. First major exception is if 2/3 of the party members together leave the party and join some other party, then they will not be disqualified. Like, for example, let's imagine there's a party which has 60 members of parliament. Out of these 60, at least 40 or more collectively resign and join some other party, then they are safe, they will not be disqualified. If the number of members who leave are less than 2/3, and they will be disqualified. At least 2/3 member. Earlier it was 1/3 and then it was 2/3. At least 2/3 member, if they together leave the party, they will not be disqualified. But there has that those people have to be at least 2/3, if not more. There is also a question about whether or not the decision of the presiding officer is open to judicial review or not. Let's say the Speaker of the Lok Sabha has given a decision that the person has to be disqualified. Now, can you challenge this decision in the court or not? Originally, the law says that the decision of the Speaker regarding disqualification cannot be challenged. Right? So earlier, the original law said that the decision of the Speaker cannot be challenged. However, in 1992, in a very famous case called Kehoto-Holohan case, Supreme Court said that the decision of the Speaker can be challenged in the court. Can be challenged in the court. If there is something wrong with the decision of the Speaker, decision of the presiding officer, the Supreme Court can interfere. This is what Supreme Court said in the Kehoto-Holohan case of 1992. The other important point here, which is worth mentioning and which is debatable also, is that the presiding officer has no time limit to take the decision. It has happened in many cases that people have changed their parties, they have voted against their parties, they have not been disqualified for many weeks, many months, because the presiding officer who has to take the final decision does not have any time limit within which the person has to take the decision. When there is no time limit given, this law is misused. Let's take an example. Let's say in today's Lok Sabha, a Congress member leaves Congress and joins the BJP. The problem is, the Lok Sabha Speaker used to be a BJP person. So it may happen that he does not disqualify the person or he delays that particular decision because there is no time limit on him. That is why the courts have also said that presiding officers must not delay this indefinitely. There have been cases where the presiding officers have not given the decision and the Supreme Court has interfered to say that we have to make sure that disqualification of people under anti-defection law happens in a timely manner and it should not be delayed indefinitely. There are many advantages of having this anti-defection law. First and foremost, it provides stability to the ongoing government. It makes sure that the candidates are loyal to their party. If I voted for a MP or MLA because I thought that he would be from BJP or Congress, and then if he later on changes his party, that is a betrayal of the voter. So the candidate remains loyal to party, loyal to citizens who voted for him. It promotes discipline in the party. It reduces corruption because even if money is offered to MPs and MLAs to change the parties, they can't do that because they will be disqualified. All these are the advantages that we have of the anti-defection law. However, there are certain disadvantages also, because of which there have been many suggestions made about how to change this law. The biggest disadvantage is that the MPs or MLAs cannot voice their own opinion. For example, even if a BJP MP or MLA thinks that laws introduced by the BJP, let's say the farmer bills or let's say Citizenship Amendment Act, even if they are against those laws, they can't vote against them. Because if they vote against the laws of their own party, they will be disqualified. So there has to be certain changes to give freedom of expression to the legislator. There have been recommendations given by different committees. First, Dinesh Goswami committee, which has suggested that only in these two reasons should we disqualify the person. Number one, if a person gives up his membership, and second, if a person votes against the party. Only when the government is in danger of falling down. Means Dinesh Goswami committee suggested that people should be allowed to vote in whatever way that they want. They should not be forced to vote for their party. They should be forced to vote for their party only and only if the government itself will fall down if they don't vote for them. So that is their suggestion. Law Commission has also said, given many suggestions. The Law Commission, for example, has said that first, splits and mergers should not be allowed. There should be no exception of 2/3 or 1/3 that should be deleted. Political parties should not tell their MPs or MLAs how to vote for each bill except when the government is in danger of falling down. So that is what the Dinesh Goswami committee also said. People should be forced to vote for their party only and only when the government is in danger of falling down. Election Commission also has said that while taking the decision for disqualification, the presiding officer should not take the decision. The president at the center or the governor at the state level should take the decision after consulting the Election Commission. So usually how disqualifications happen, that should be followed for anti-defection law also. Anti-defection law should not have their own disqualification or their own disqualification mechanism. Apart from this, Law Commission had also said that political parties, see, before the election and after the elections, many political parties changed their sides. The Law Commission also said that if two or more parties came together before the election, that is pre-poll alliances, they should be treated as one single political party. So if before the election before the elections BJP and Shiv Sena were together, if after the elections they split, then that should also lead to disqualification. Because alliances before the election should be considered as alliances after the elections also. This brings us to the end of what we had to discuss for anti-defection law. Reminding you once again, if you are planning to write the IAS examination, do join the Gradeup Super subscription. You can join the IAS 22, 23, 24 foundation courses and many other ongoing running courses. The IAS course has over 500 live interactive classes, over 500 note, mock tests and more. You can join this course for 3 months, 6 months, 9 months or 24 months, whichever suits you depending on your requirement. You will get access to all the running and upcoming courses, structured study plan, expert faculties, best study material, mock tests, PDF quizzes, and lot more. We have various faculties who are experts of their different subjects. You can even attending their classes. This is me. I teach polity, governance, and international relations. I'm sure that you would have attended the classes of many of these experts who take a lot of free classes on the Gradeup app and also on the Gradeup IAS YouTube channel. We are also on Telegram. Search for Gradeup IAS preparation and join this public channel. You will get a lot of free short notes and study material for your preparation. Thank you so much for joining, guys. Do download the Gradeup app to practice topic-wise quizzes. I will see you tomorrow, same time with the next class. Bye, guys. Take care.